What's up? It's your boy B to the B Hills, and this is Worldwide Collaboration presents live from the basement. I'm here with my guest Cinematic. All right, how
What
you
up?
doing
What
today?
up? I'm good. How you doing today?
What's up? I'm good, man. I appreciate you being here, man. Being my first guest and all.
Absolutely.
So where are you from? So for the people that don't know you or just now learning about you, where are you from? Tell me a little
Uh,
bit about yourself.
so I am originally from Kensington, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and
That's where the accent comes from.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Kensington, and then right now for probably for about the last like 15 years actually. I've actually longer than that. Damn. Probably like 20 something years now. I've lived like right outside of Philadelphia in a town called Levittown.
That's what's up. Yeah, see, that's kind of like because I was born in Fort Worth, but whenever I was like 12, 13, I moved to Houston. So it's kind of like the same thing. Like I was born in Fort Worth, but raised, you know what I mean, in Houston.
Yeah.
Because it's like those, like, the early years are kind of like what molds you, but later on is what really is the time that you
Yeah.
start becoming who you are and stuff as a person and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So,
I definitely don't have any aspects of when I was a child anymore. I mean, I grew up kind of really not, I don't want to say raising myself, but teaching myself, I'll say. Um,
what's the earliest age that you can remember? Like, what's your earliest, like, you ain't gotta tell me the
hmm,
memory if it's personal or like that, but just like what's the earliest age?
I would say I was probably like 8, 9 years old. That's probably about the earliest I remember. And
Yeah.
it was a fist fight that members of my family were having with people who lived like on the next street over from us. And I remember that shit like it
Oh,
was
really?
yesterday. Yeah.
Like a family brawl?
Yeah, yeah. My whole family, we all lived on the same exact block down in Kensington. Like we like literally every house was my family. And
That's cool though.
they got into this
That's cool,
fight.
but not cool, because then it's like you can't avoid your family. It's like most people just gotta deal with their family on the holidays. You gotta
Yeah.
deal with them all year around. Yeah. But
Oh,
that's
that
good. That's cool though.
we ended up moving when I was like 10 because our it was like right around the time Kensington was starting to get real bad. And
Yeah.
our house ended up getting robbed. And we figured out that the dude was still in the house trying to break out the back door when my brother came home from school. So like my brother was in the house while this dude was still in the house and he didn't even know it. And my parents were like, "No, that's it," and ended moving us up here. But we're about
Yeah.
25 minutes from the city.
Okay. What city? My bad. I didn't hear where you said that you moved to. Like, where do you live
So
now, Phil?
we live in Levittown now. Levittown,
Okay.
Pennsylvania. We're
Oh
still in
no,
Pennsylvania. It's right outside of
Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's what's up. So, what was your early like inspirations in the music? Like, what was your first? Not as far as like what made you as an artist. Like, we'll get into that. But as far as just like, what was your first like, of
Like
music? Like,
my
in
early
your
artist, like my early artist
your your
inspirations.
your well, not even that. Just your first introduction in the music. Like, what was the
Oh,
first type
okay,
of
okay.
like music that?
That's a good question. I like that question. That's a really good question. So I would say so my first introduction probably to like the hip hop and rap scene it was probably like Vanilla Ice and like Sir Mix-a-Lot
Yeah.
with Baby Got Back and stuff like that. Yeah, and like House of Pain, Jump Around, and it wasn't
So that was the
until
first like.
I got a little older until I started getting like more introduced to more like heavier hip hop, like Jay-Z and Biggie and all that stuff. When I was young, it was just like white boy like beginner rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you always listen to hip hop? Your first introduction to music was hip hop?
No, 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 no. So if my first introduction to music, oh my lord. I mean, I grew up listening really to everything. Like my grandmother, I spent a lot of time with her. She used to listen to like Elvis and Patsy Cline and what's her name? What's her name? I can't remember the other one. There's another one she used to listen to all the time. But then like my parents, uh, raised me listening to like Frank Sinatra and Madonna
Yeah.
and like Barbara
Hey,
Streisand and shit like that.
I'm gonna send you a song after we're done with this interview because I remade That's Life Frank Sinatra song where I like took where but I used just here's his lyrics, you know, but I just switched
Mm-hmm.
it up to like a present day like rap, like you know where it's like I've been a puppet, a poet, a pawn, and a king, and I know one
Oh,
thing,
that's
I
awesome.
know one thing, I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top of June, you know, like it's
That's
all like I'll
awesome.
send it to you. I'll
Yeah.
send it to you. It's
Frank
actually, but
Sinatra, man. That I used to love Frank Sinatra when
yeah,
I
I
was
love Frank
younger, man.
Sinatra. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love Frank
dude.
Sinatra too.
But
Yeah, I like all.
they had me listen to everything. Like and like from like my uncles, like I grew up listening to like AC/DC and Ozzy Osbourne. So I was like and country music and like just
Yeah,
basically anything that anybody was listening to.
you can see it. You can see it in your music because your music has all those aspects in it. You know what I mean? Like even like your artwork and stuff is kind of like rockish. You know,
Yeah.
like got like you know, and then you have like a grunge kind of to some of your songs. You know, and then but you can tell like you know like you can tell like because it's like with making music we're all just like a sponge. You know, and we're
Yeah.
basically absorbing all of the like types of music. All right, so as far as like back to like music and stuff, then what was the who would you say hip hop artist inspired you the most?
The most the very first hip hop inspiration I had was Eminem.
Eminem, yeah.
Absolutely.
See,
Yeah.
see,
Eminem was like my first real like hip hop obsession. I heard
yeah,
other hip hop artists before that and I and listened to songs with my brothers. Like my brothers are the ones that got me into hip hop.
yeah,
And hip hop was it was really kind of like a forbidden fruit kind of thing with my parents. Like they didn't want me
yeah.
listening to it.
Listen,
But
yeah, because
my brothers would always sneak it to me. And
it
then when
used to not be so mainstream as it is now. You know, back then it
yep.
wasn't so mainstream. You know,
Hmm. But
yeah,
when the Slim Shady LP came out, my second oldest brother, he he snuck it to me to let me listen to it, and I listened to the whole album, and I was hooked.
yeah,
I was hooked from
yeah.
then on.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that for sure. Cause I remember like, cause I grew up like in Fort Worth, like on the west side of Fort Worth. So like, I was always like I had classes where I was like the only white kid whenever I was younger and stuff, you know. So growing up, I remember whenever Eminem came out, suddenly like it was cool to be, you know, an urban and be white. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah,
I remember like my friends, they were like older and they lived down the streets and they were all singing that Slim Shady song, but they're all switching it up. You know, like you look like you ain't
yeah,
seen a black person before, but and they're all like, and I just remember seeing that, be like, damn, you know, like now I have an outlet. Like before,
yeah,
someone was just wrong with me. They're like, something's wrong with that kid. Like he's weird, you know.
yeah.
But Eminem definitely like, I feel like, you know, what do you think? So while we're talking about Eminem, what era of Eminem do you think is your favorite? You know,
Marshall
chapter of,
Mathers LP.
well, not Marshall Mathers LP. That's the one where it's all like the way I am and shit like that, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
in Criminal and the way I am, and that's got
yeah,
Stan on it too, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I related that. But like, man, like my favorite Eminem song is that fucking Rock Bottom song though. You know where he's all like, cause you know where he's all like, I feel like I'm walking a
I
tightrope
was
without a circus
literally
net
just
popping
getting ready to
Percocet.
say, yeah, I was literally
Yeah,
just getting ready to
cause the
say that Slim Shady LP was it's hard to say the Marshall Mathers LP because that has some of my favorite songs on it, but the Slim
yeah,
Shady LP and the Infinite album, they're so much more lyrical and intense. Like
yeah. But
they probably are his greatest work.
yeah, but the Marshall Mathers LP though, I feel you on that though because it's like that it's more relatable as a human. You know what I mean? Like because he's
Yeah,
talking about like shit. You know what I mean? The Slim Shady's more just off the wall shit. That's except for like that. You know, like because my favorite songs on that on the Slim Shady one is the Bonnie and Clyde and then that the Rock Bottom and then even that other song where he's like. If I had a wish, I'd make the world suck my dick without a condom
yeah,
on. Like,
yeah.
yeah, like you know, I like but so, what do you
Yeah,
think about new Eminem, like present day Eminem?
I mean, to me, Eminem is still the goat, man. I still think that Eminem is the best rapper to ever live in my eyes. Like
Yeah.
he's still inspiration to me to this day.
As far as putting words together, and being like, but as far as like lyrics and being like a wordsmith and putting words together and stuff like that, then yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
but like, but the thing that Eminem, like the only, I like music that like touches me, or like I feel kind of, you know what I mean? And Eminem, like
Oh
he's got
yeah.
songs like that, like the song like the where he's all
He's
talking
got a lot of
about getting
goofy
off
shit
drugs.
too, though. He's got a
Yeah, that's
lot
what
of
I'm
goofy
saying
shit.
though.
Yeah.
So like yeah, like
But see,
because
like I was still a fan of them, like all through like the Recovery album and Relapse and like all them goofy
I'm
albums. I love them.
I gotta say that I gave up on him on one album, and then I came right back to him. But like I gave up on him on that, I don't even know what it was called, but that album where he was all rapping Arabian and shit. It's like got my Tahoe in the Lado. You know what
Yeah,
I'm talking about?
that
I think that's Relapse.
I think that was Relapse.
Relapse.
Yeah, but see, that's
Yeah,
what I mean. Like
that
that's
was
the one with like
trash.
3 a.m. on it and stuff like that. Like,
3
but
a.m.'s 3 a.m.'s good song though.
I
Like
still
yeah,
loved it. I still
I
loved.
like 3 a.m. Yeah, I
I
like
loved it.
3 a.m. Yeah, and then that other song, it wasn't all trash because I'll take back that statement because like I like that one song on there where he's like rapping to himself about the devil, and it's all like, look at us a little closer, isn't that us on that
Bro,
poster?
that's one of
Like
my favorite
that shit
songs.
gives you chills and shit. That shit's like,
That's my
so
darling.
that us on us, yeah, darling, yeah, I
Yeah.
love that shit,
My
dude. That shit's
darling.
the
No one would
I
ever want you to leave, my darling.
so
Love that song.
so what are you trying to, like, what kind of impact are you or like what, whenever you make music or whatever, you know what I mean, and you're like do you create your best music whenever you're going through things and dealing with shit, like, you know what I mean, like we're all humans and we all deal with our own little problems and stuff, like, and use music as like a coping, and you think you create your best art as that, or do you think you create your best art whenever you're like at peace and in a like, you know what I mean, and in a peaceful environment where you can really just be like your mind's clear?
Well, see, music has always been my therapy. Like, and the reason
Yeah,
the reason I say that is because like when I first started making music, it was back in 2007, 2006, something like that. And I had gotten expelled from school for for putting in a threat at my high school. They expelled me for it.
like on some Columbine shit.
No, not it
You
was
were one of them bad kids, man.
no, I really wasn't though. It was a bomb threat. It was a bomb threat. But
That's pretty bad, dude. That's pretty
I
bad. I gotta say.
I wasn't the type of kid that would ever do something like that. I did it for
Yeah.
it was a point that I was trying to prove against the school. That was a stupid ass point to try to prove. That's what it was.
Did it work? Hey, all right. So my next question is, did it work?
Anyway, no, it didn't work. It didn't work.
So what was the point that you were trying to get across?
So the school had 3 bomb threats over the 2-week period before I did mine. All right.
It was like a monkey see monkey do thing. You were trying to be close.
No. So they didn't do anything.
What kind of school did you go to? That's why I'm glad I didn't go to an all white school. I didn't have a single bomb threat in my school growing up.
I went to a tech school. I was in a tech school, but they didn't do anything.
What's a tech school?
So it's where like you go to the high school and you go through different shops. Like they have like welding, graphic design, culinary, shit like that.
So it's like yeah, I know what you're talking about though.
But anyway, they didn't do anything about the first bomb threats, right? They didn't send us home. They didn't call our parents. They didn't have dogs come in. They didn't do nothing.
That's a shitty ass school, man.
My dumbass decided to put a threat in.
Go ahead and call it. Go ahead and put that school on blast. Hey, put that school on blast, man. Like, what's the name of the school?
Oh, that's
just
Bucks
so
County Technical High School. Bucks County Technical High
they
School.
Suck.
Yeah,
don't
suck,
send
right?
your kids
they
there,
suck,
dude.
Right? That's what
they get blown up. Your kids get blown up there. They don't take shit serious at all.
No, they took it serious when I did it. Yeah, they took that shit serious when I did it. They had the
because
cops
they
come and
had
arrest
practice.
me and all, bro.
They were ready for it by that time. They're like, man, I wish a motherfucker would again.
So anyway, so this happened. They expelled me from school and stuff, and I ended up finding out about somebody ratted on me. Somebody found out about it and ratted on me. And
Yeah.
so that was when I started writing music. I started writing lyrics basically talking about this person who ratted me out and what I wanted to do to them and stuff. And my parents ended up finding my lyric book. So
So hold on real quick.
go
So
ahead.
just to recap, so you made terroristic threats to the school,
Yeah.
and then somebody ratted on you. So then you made terroristic threats on paper in a notepad about them.
I wouldn't say
Right, so
I wouldn't say
then
terroristic, but definitely threats.
they would the court say terroristic threats?
Maybe they might.
Yeah, all
They might.
right.
They
So go
might.
ahead.
So anyway,
That's what it's
so my
that
parents
was
found
your
my lyric book and they brought it to my therapist that I was seeing at the time. My therapist read it and she told my parents, you know what?
that's some ill shit. That's
This
fire.
no,
In fact, that's dope.
she was like, at least he's writing it down and he's not acting it out. Let him continue to
Yeah.
write it. And ever since that
Hey.
day, I've been writing.
Yeah. That's some real shit because a good point on that is something that I do a lot of times, and is like you ever like sit there and somebody makes you really mad and shit, so you text out a whole fucking, you know what I mean, like you're gonna send them a text message and sit and write and type it all up, but don't send it.
I
You
sent it
just
to
do
my
it just
wife.
to type it out. Yeah, exactly. Or just like, send it to yourself, just so you can read it, have pleasure over reading it. Like, yeah, da, 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 da. Like, cause it's good to write shit down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's good to
bro.
write shit out. It's good to just, you know what I mean? You gotta let
Yeah.
shit out. And music's definitely like with me, like music was like definitely a therapy, like a coping
Yeah.
mechanism. And like, there was times
It
that like
really
music
is.
was all I had, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if I didn't make music, I would have probably like, you know what I mean, like killed myself on some shit. Because there've been times where like I
Bro.
felt just hopeless without music, on some real like not even, just being real on some
I'll
shit. You know
tell
what I mean?
you
Like
what,
music's
my
saved my life.
the new song Rock Bottom that I wrote, I mean, you can hear
Yeah,
you can hear the emotion and everything that I put into that and
yeah, yeah. No,
it's
that's dope, dude.
it comes from a deep place and I just
Yeah,
I've been fighting mentally. I haven't been
yeah,
I've been kind of low lately and that's where all that
yeah,
came from. But it always seems like
yeah,
when I'm at my lowest, that's when I'm creating at my greatest.
yeah. And what happens though is it almost becomes like a disorder or like an addiction or obsession to a point where like I'll welcome in situations and kind of put things onto myself to put me in a dark place because I know creativity, I can like make good music, you know what I mean? And it's like your brain is almost like, that's like, it's like you get rewarded for something. So it's like,
Yeah.
that if you make this music, you get rewarded for it. So you want to get that love and you want to get that whatever, but, and it's like your brain knows, it's like, and it makes it hard for an artist to be like in relationships. You know what I mean? Like, because it's
Yeah,
hard
I
for
get
somebody to
you.
be in a relationship with an artist. You know what I mean?
I
Because
feel
think
you.
about it, just the time that it takes that you take, making art and doing your music or whatever it is, and then
Yeah.
just, and it's hard to
Yeah.
understand an artist because we're
Bro,
different. I mean,
I
but the thing that
absolutely get it. I do. I completely understand what you're saying. And I'm a real lucky man. I've been with the same girl for going on 12 years now. And
yeah, congratulations, man.
thank you.
That's a beautiful thing.
She's always been understanding about my music and my dream. And now that I've gone public with it all and have gained more attention and I've had to give it more attention, it's weighed on our
Yeah,
relationship a lot. And I mean, I've made a few songs recently about that they're on my page and stuff, and I've
yeah,
released them. But so I completely get what you're
yeah.
saying. Trying to balance your music life and your family life, it's a very, very difficult thing.
Yeah, it is, especially like, and then Like my problem, like I've kind of dealt with the opposite. Like I've had like just relationships just falling because of music, you know. But a lot of it's like my own because like my music's like real organic and shit. So I'll be like expressing shit, you know. And I mean like
Yeah.
you know, it's just like the Dear Baby Mama song. It's hard for somebody to be in a relationship with somebody where they go make a song about you and put it online. You
Yeah.
know, like because it's a different version, you know. But like a lot of songs that like you know, it's just like my truth though. You know, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Basically, like and like I would try to tell them, I'm like, and you know, like it's not really like trying to make a song because so many people take shit personal and stuff, and it's like you're creating that music or you're doing that because it's like other people can relate to it because we all go through similar things, you know. So it's like our
Absolutely.
relationships were all similar. So it's like me expressing or you expressing something musically, you know what I mean? It's like you know, it's art, you know, but at the same
Yeah.
time, whenever you do that, it's like you almost like whenever you put emotion and like real like pain into your music or real like you know what I mean stuff like that, then it's like and let's say like if you're going through something and you make this song to help you get through what you're going through, you know,
Yeah.
but at the same time you're freezing that emotion and the things that you went through, you're freezing that
Yep.
because now whenever that song gets played, you relive it. So as artists,
Exactly. That
we
that
have
part of
all
your
these
life is
clouds.
frozen in time.
Yeah, and it's like we have these clouds of songs that are our emotions that are frozen that are always there and it becomes a strain, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like and that's why so many people and successful people are depressed and they're not happy, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so
You know,
so what was
I used to mainly write emotional music. Like that was like my main thing that I used to write. Like if you go look back, like if you go look further down on my Facebook page and if you go on my YouTube and stuff like that, a lot of my songs are emotional songs. And
yeah.
I didn't start writing like fuck you type songs or like I'm better type songs really
But I would say all
up
every
until
song that I
recently.
heard from you is emotional. You got emotion in all your songs. Like everything that I've heard, it's always like you're always talking about something or has some kind of like you know what I mean. Even if you're talking about like fuck you, like that song where you're like that with that show or whatever that you did and you didn't win and you made that song and it's like that diss to that dude or whatever, you know. Like it's not like you're being like fuck you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about. You
Yeah.
some you know like it's
The
like
the
you're
the the the
it's
fuck
like
'em all.
you're just addressing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you're just addressing it though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
all your songs, like you know. I got you. All right,
I have
so
no
what
idea.
future project? What? All right, so what future projects or do you have like you know coming out? You know, at towards
Oh,
the end of this year and beginning of next year and stuff. And
that's
also, I want to talk about your record label. You, and everything with
yeah,
that. And I want
I
to
do
talk
want to
about the
talk about
artists that
that.
you got on there
I
for
do want to
sure.
talk about that absolutely. But as far as future projects go, that's a very good question. I'm glad you brought that up because I have two projects in mind right now. One is a solo album and one is a complete collaboration album. And so the collaboration album is probably going to be what comes first because it's going to be more of a mixtape. It'll be probably around like 10, 12 songs. But
Yeah.
I want every single song on there to have a collaboration from somebody within our circle. You know what I mean? Like within worldwide collaborations or within wherever. Just people that I fuck with and people that I know or talk to or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, for
I
sure.
want to be all collaborations. But then my next solo album is going to be called actually hold on so the mixtape the mixtape is simply the Building Legends mixtape or no what is it,
Uh-huh.
something like that. It's like Building Legends collabos mixtape, something like that. But then my album, that is Forever Cinematic. That's what is my profile picture right now. That I probably won't be finished that until like April or May of next year.
That's
And
what's up. So the songs that you've been releasing lately, like the Rock Bottom song and the other songs, are those going to be featured on your new album? Those just singles that you
um
released.
a, a couple of the new ones will like Rock Bottom definitely will be on the new one. And the song Who Wants What, that'll definitely be on the new one. So the album is Forever Cinematic. That'll be out probably like April or May, and that's gonna be like probably like 25 tracks on that.
Damn, 25 fucking tracks. You gotta go.
Yeah, I
How many
go big for
features
the
are gonna be
solo
on it?
albums. Um,
How
I
many
have
features?
no idea yet. I have
So
no
right now
idea.
you're just writing 25 solo, and it's somebody's good enough to get on the track, then they can jump on it.
Yep. Well, I do know one feature without a doubt that I will have on it is Nonsense. You know who Nonsense is from the dude from the Dorky
No.
Review Show.
Oh yeah, he's dope.
And
Even though one time he like skipped my song and shit, and I was like, man, but I still, but then I sent another song, and he was like, this was dope or whatever, but
yeah,
it was
I
cool,
fuck with him.
But nah,
I fuck with him hard.
he's talented. He's talented as fuck, dude. Like he's
He
got a
is.
good flow, and he's good at rapping and
Yep.
words, and he be on some Kendrick shit. Like